Let's start first with help everyone understand your background and kind of the origin story of Bitcoin Beach for those that don't know.
Yeah, so I wound up in El Salvador about 17 years ago on a surf trip and fell in love with the country and talked my wife into buying a place here. And about 8 years ago, we moved to El Salvador and just saw a lot of the needs in our community and around the country. And so we started investing in different projects and just kind of especially focusing on El Zonte where we're at. And 2 years ago, we kind of combined my love for Bitcoin with the needs of the unbanked here and just seeing how Bitcoin could truly change their lives, even much more than it's changed my life. And so about 2 years ago, we started pushing Bitcoin out into the community through incentivizing kids to get good grades, doing different work in the community, a lot of things really focused on keeping them out of gangs. Gangs have historically been a big issue in El Salvador. And so we never envisioned it taking off into something that would change the world's monetary system, but it's been a crazy ride.
And when you think about those early days of starting Bitcoin Beach, what was the response? Did people look at you like you were crazy? Did it strike immediately? People were like, oh yeah, this makes sense. Let me start using it. Like, what was the reaction?
Both. When you talk to the adults, they looked at you like you were crazy. You know, people my age, looked at it like, this is insane. Like, what do you mean? How do we touch a Bitcoin? What do you mean no government backs it? They wanted to be able to physically hold it. And so it was really a challenge for them. But when we switched to focusing on the youth, for them, it was normal. They're used to living in a digital world. They're used to transacting digitally. So for them, it made sense that money would be digital and that it would be decentralized. And so they were kind of the ones that taught their parents, kind of like I have to have my kids help me set up my iPhone every time there's a new version released. They have helped their parents and grandparents come along and start using Bitcoin. And once they do it a few times, they realize, especially using the Lightning Network and some of the newer wallets that are out there, just how easy it is. And so at first it's daunting, but quickly they get over that.
Yeah. And today, if you had to describe kind of the pervasiveness of this and the sentiment just in El Zonte, what exactly is the current state of everything? Obviously, Jack Mallers, Peter McCormick, a bunch of other Bitcoiners have gone down and spent some time with you and the work that you're doing. But how would you evaluate where you are right now?
I'd say we're still definitely in the early innings. We have the vast majority of people in El Zonte have at least used Bitcoin in some fashion. Probably about half of them use Bitcoin, pretty regularly, weekly. A lot of them daily. A lot of them are earning their wages in Bitcoin. Definitely, a lot of them are saving in Bitcoin. And so I'd say probably definitely more than anywhere else in the world, any other community, the penetration of Bitcoin is probably 10 times, the next highest place as it is here in El Zonte. So it's been a lot of fun just seeing the network effects kick in and how real those are.
When most people in the United States or North America, kind of the developed world, think of Bitcoin, usually they actually think of it as an investment asset, something that they buy, it goes up in dollar value, maybe they sell it, maybe they hold it, but it's very much an investment, not so much a currency. My understanding of what's happening in El Zonte is the exact opposite. Most people don't look at it as an investment, but more so they look at it as a currency, a medium of exchange. Is that an accurate portrayal, or what is kind of the balance between maybe an investment perspective versus a currency as a medium of exchange?
I mean, people definitely look at it as both. It's definitely a long-term savings vehicle for a lot of them, but it's probably the inverse to that percentage outside of El Zonte. I'd say, most people are like 80% focused on Bitcoin as digital gold and 20% focused on the, using it as a transactional money. Where in El Zonte, I'd say it's the reverse. The 80% of the value comes from the transactionalness of it and 20% from the, long-term, number go up. And so I think a lot of people don't realize, the vast majority of the world doesn't have access to things like Cash App or Venmo or those sorts of things. So for them, even moving a small amount of money can be a huge headache, long bus rides, expensive. And so anything from trying to send $20 to, your relative across the country to, for myself trying to buy a vehicle here, it's a major hurdle to get money into the country and to move it. And Bitcoin just kind of breaks down all those barriers.
What's up, guys? Bang, bang. Thanks so much for watching the Best Business Show today. If we're going to be the best business show, we obviously need the best partner. That's why the exclusive sponsor of the Best Business Show is SoFi. They're an all-in-one platform that allows you to invest in all kinds of different assets, including stocks, ETFs, crypto, IPOs, and they even have an automated investing function, if that's your thing. So before we start getting after it again, make sure that you go download SoFi, you get an invest account, and when you make your first crypto trade, regardless of what you buy, they'll give you $10 in Bitcoin for free. It's that simple. Head on over to SoFi.com/pomp to get started today. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope that you come back and watch more of the Best Business Show tomorrow.